Oh, okay. I started the live stream again. Looks like the last one we had some interference, right? Told me the connection wasn't stable, so I just restarted it. I waited about 5 minutes. So we'll wait for everyone to get back on again. Yeah, I ended the last live stream. It should be live right now. I'm going to go until 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I still have an hour and a half almost. I'll wait for everyone to get back online. Well, I can. Yeah. Tommy Taylor. So tell me what happened. Did everyone's screen just start to do that little spinning? Yeah. The YouTube gave me a notice that my connection was not stable, so I just restarted the live stream. Yeah, I ended the other live stream and I restarted it again. Yeah, it froze up somehow. Yep. So this is part 2. I'm going to go till 4 p.m. Eastern. So if it stops again, I will, end the stream and start it up again. Yeah, it was started spinning and it told me that my connection was unstable. Everything's all good now. It froze up. Yep. Hopefully everyone will get back on. Well, hopefully everyone will figure out what happened and then try to get back on. I didn't do any napping while it was down. I was just watching, staring at the screen for 5 minutes. Jeff North, hello everyone. And to you, Jack or Pat. Yeah, either one is fine. My name is Patrick, but you can call me Jack or Pat. Don't matter. We're back. Yes, we are. Yeah. I got to notice that the connection's unstable, and I don't know why it would be unstable. The router's right here above my refrigerator. It must be a lot of people getting online right now at this time. School doesn't get out until 3 p.m. Eastern here. I was just listening and thought to myself, well, Patrick is already at the sweat stage. Yeah, Keith, you know me too well. Yeah, we are back. Where's it? All right, so there was an unanswered question in the last comment section. I already forgot what it was. Are you able to zoom in to see what I'm doing? You can zoom in on the live stream, I think, right? I bet you a lot of guys have zoomed in, wondering what's in the background. What is that? What is this stuff hanging up behind him? What kind of lock does he have on his house? I know you backgrounders. There are people that go around and look at nothing but background stuff. I don't even know if that's helping. Does that help you? Yes or no? Now that you know the angle at which I'm napping, are you having a eureka moment? Yes? No? You're not? So all that time you thought that if you looked at my napping from the front view, you would become enlightened and extremely prolific at napping now? No, you didn't think that? I know you were thinking that because people ask me all the time. And then when I show them, it's like, I didn't really need to know that because it doesn't make any sense. It's not the same angle every time. It's all different. Sometimes he's like this, sometimes he's like that, sometimes he's like this, sometimes he's like that. And sometimes this goes like that, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes he lifts it up, sometimes he doesn't. What's up? It's variable. You have to do little tweaks to get it right. And you never know exactly what's going to happen because it's a game of chance. Not only is it variable the way I do it, It's a game of chance. So even if you get all the angles right and copy me exactly with every type of strike, you may not get the same flake that I do because of luck. It could be a bad spot, an inconsistency. You could have a piece of gravel stuck in the tip. It could be too dull. It's just your luck that you don't get it. But you've copied everything exactly, and it still doesn't do it. I don't know why. It's because everything is variable. There's lots of different stuff going on with the initial conditions. Yeah, but I don't understand what that means because all I need to do is just copy, right? No, that's not it. That's not it. Just copying is not all. That's not all you do. Let's see what else is on here. I always look at the background stuff. Yeah, Mike. So you're one of those backgrounders. I shouldn't have said the thing about taxes, huh? Yeah, I guess you just killed the stream as soon as you mentioned taxes. Back. Yes, we're back. I don't see everybody back though. Where is everybody? Do it. Yeah, just do it. Dang it. Not everybody is back. Some people are still floating in limbo, going, oh no, my phone really stinks. It's not your phone. Stupid YouTube. Let's see, does someone text me like, what's going on with the live stream? Because I can't see anything. Just refresh YouTube and you should be able to get the new notification that I restarted. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? I get spam all the time. It's relentless. I must give my email out too much. Too many places for you to find my email. So all these spammers will find it. Are you looking? Are you going to zoom in? I just need to know what kind of faces I need to make while I'm hitting. Yeah, okay. You got to make sure that you fool the stone. Don't let it know that it's extremely frustrating. You can get angry with it. You know, it starts to go, be afraid when you get angry with it. But don't let it think that you're miserable because then it'll act even worse. Yep. You cannot show misery. All righty? All right. It's starting to get darker because now that light in my face is getting a little bit bright. Do you see how hard I'm hitting? Are we showing the full range of the swing? No? Yes? Maybe? And when I abrade, sometimes I like that, sometimes like that, sometimes like this, sometimes like that. I'll abrade in different directions for some odd reason. Most of the time it's like this, yeah, but sometimes I'll shift this around too. So you'll never know exactly what angle. All you angle guys, what angle is it? I don't understand it. I need a number. Okay, the number is 52.6. That's the number of the angle. No matter what angle it is, the number is always 52.6, okay? All right. Where did I get that number? It was just the funniest number I could think of within 5 seconds. Yeah. Watch it be some weird occult number. I don't think so, but just my luck. 52.6 is the body temperature of them alien reptiles. Alien reptiles. That's the body temperature of them. I just needed to know what kind. Let's see. I'm logging in and out. Yes. Takes out his protractor in order to ensure his flakes run long and thin. Yeah. That's what some new guys think you should do. Yeah. You see, did you see? I'm going to rewatch my video and see if you could tell how hard I hit that just to get it to go halfway. You see how wonky it is? I'm going to unwonkify it. Okay? That's a flint knapping term, in case you don't know. It'll be unwonkified soon, hopefully. There's a bad spot right there where there's a lot of inconsistencies in the material itself. But other than that, the material is good wherever it's clear. If it's got nasty stuff, you can't nap through that. You got to try to blast your way around it, and hopefully it'll be flaked off, but sometimes you just can't get it. Yeah. I'm trying to avoid step fractures, but there is still some on there. It's a good exercise in damage control. Yeah. But I don't recommend that new guys try this stuff. See that big old step right there, or undetached flake? There, I got most of it. Yeah, that will make your day a bummer. You'll have a bummer of a day if you're new and don't know how to blast those things out of there. Hello, Patrick and everyone. Ahab the Fisherman's here. Mike Mason, my son, says he would be great at puppets with those voices. Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about making a puppet mascot or something for the channel. We'll see what happens. Hello, Patrick and everybody. Yes. Are you in the house? Yeah, Jeff. This is my entrance to my house, and it just opens right up into the kitchen. Here's my fridge right here. Front door. My little seat next to the front door, and books, mystery books. In case you're into watching background stuff like Mike is. I'm sitting low. Can you tell? This is a little, I think it's a 5-gallon. For those of you who don't know what I'm sitting on, here we go. This is like a car seat pad for truckers that costs like $50. And this is whatever that is. Craftsman 5-gallon. I was right. Okay. It's perfect height for me to be able to hold the flaker or the rods or whatever behind my knee without having to prop up my foot on something. Okay. I have a shop light right in front of me so that the light can shine onto the workpiece. And you can see the flake scars now a little bit better, I think. But yeah, I'm right in my kitchen. I've got the drop cloth on the floor, but the flakes are flying everywhere anyway. Let's see. Uh-oh, the chat's getting away from me. It looks like you're hitting the rod with a vacuum attachment. Yeah, that's high molecular weight plastic, ultra high molecular weight plastic. If you like, or if you would like a link to this, put a comment in the video after the live stream. Say, where did you get that mallet? Or what is that? I'll send you the link, or I'll post a link in the comments. Right now, I can't do it because I can't cut and paste from the computer because I don't have my notes on the computer. I have my notes on my phone, so I can get on my phone and copy and paste. I might be able to copy and paste from the phone while I'm on the live stream because I can add to the chat. Why don't I think of these things? Because the chat's getting away from me. Keith Ricketts, I'm halfway to animating the characters in my head already. I might have created a new flint napping lingo term, Patrick. Oh, yeah? For those long parallel flake scars, I described them as caterpillar flakes to a friend. It's stuck for me all anyways. Yeah, caterpillar flakes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Am I able to see? That's the first part of the live stream. Where's the next part of the live stream? Part 2. It doesn't show it. I've got to go into, I've got to search. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on here. This takes too long. If it takes longer than 10 seconds, I get too distracted. I'll be sitting there for 30 minutes and you guys will be, what is going on? Let's see. Ed Gould's in the house. Now I'm wondering what's in the fridge. Nothing. You want to see? No, you can't see. Okay, let's see. What is in the fridge? That's in the door of the fridge. What's that? Let's see if I can do this. What is it? It's duck fat. Only nappers and primitive skills people know that. And this is my steak sauce. All right? My steak sauce and my Worcestershire sauce and my butter. That's it. Oh, wait. I've got beef bones for arrowheads. This is beef rib. What's in the other part of the refrigerator? Ground beef. That's it. You all know what ground beef looks like. Okay. All right. I got a big box of this stuff. There's big chunks. You want me to nap another big chunk? What do you use duck fat for? Well, you can eat it. It's awesome. But you can also use it for finish on wooden objects, primitive wooden objects. So now you should not be wondering anymore. You don't believe there's ground beef in there? Okay. Okay. See, I get a lot of this. All right, so now you know. Some of it's in the freezer, some of it's in the fridge. I have a very simple diet. And if anyone's having trouble with weight gain or brain fog, go on the carnivore diet. That's all I can tell you. Nap in the bedroom? No, I don't think so. No. I do not want to sleep on chips. I did not have duck fat on my bingo card. Yeah, I know you didn't. Take care, everybody. See you later, Darth Apple. Yo, yeah. Let's see. Keith Ricketts. Ed is the only man I've ever seen bid against himself and still lose the auction. That's so funny. No offense there, Ed. That is funny. Hey, Patrick and all. Brandon is here. Brandon's in the house. Ed Gould. I didn't win? Yeah, I'll tell you when you win, Ed. You know that. Let's see. Hey, Brennan. I was expecting the fridge to be filled with more napping material. I can't let the rocks spoil. Yeah. If the rocks spoiled, they'd be in there for sure. Hello, Patrick. David. What's your last name, David? Kiowa, 97/3 ground beef. No, it's 80/20. I don't eat lean meats. I eat fatty meats. Let's see. You've inspired me to do the caveman diet. I've been battling sugar withdrawal. Yeah, you're going to feel like you've got a cold or something when you're in sugar withdrawal. Plus, you're going to be irritable and lose sleep. It's not a fun ride, but it's worth it. You're going to feel that way for 2 to 4 weeks. If you're completely addicted to sugar, yeah. You can't survival here that easy. You like fish food? The big blue. I do like fish food. I do like seafood. Let's see. There's no trolls. I know. Where did they go? It's boring without them. Yeah. Kind of, sort of. David Eldridge, your UK friend. Okay, David Eldridge. Yeah. Good to see you. I want to see Knapping. Okay, fine. I know. All right. So just to get all that curiosity out of the way, I'm getting a little bit bored with this. Can you tell? Why am I getting bored with it? Because I think it's going to snap at any time. It's got inconsistencies in it. But now that I'm going to show you, you know how to, you're going to be expert nappers, right? Since now you can see the front view. No? How did I know? See, I'm trying to get that lump out of the center. See how it didn't do it? It didn't do it. It created a buffalo jump. You see that buffalo jump? It's a running little thing on the channel that if I get a big step fracture, it's called a buffalo jump. Hammered it down a little bit. I need to really smack it really, really hard, which is something I don't like doing because it's inconsistent. It could break in a place where it's got weird grain to it. It looks like this piece has some grain to it, so it's got layers or something. But see, I'm going to take off flakes like this from the ends and stuff before I really smack the middle really hard, because you don't want weight on the ends when you smack the middle really hard. Why? Because it'll break in half more easily if you leave the weight on the ends. And if you want to know the angle at which to hit the edges, whatever angle you see, it's always 56.2 or 52.6 degrees. Okay? And yeah, I'm trying to be funny. All right, so I hit it really, really hard in the middle. Almost exactly in the middle. Now, where did I hit it? Right there? Yeah. Did you catch that? Well, I was talking about the 52.6 degree angle or whatever it was. Now you know? Yes or no? I don't see anyone say, oh, that helped a lot. Now I can nap like nothing, no problem. People mishear my name as Eldridge all the time. Mine's Etheridge. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Blame it on senior moment there, David. Sorry. Etheridge. That's a turtleback. Well, it's not a turtleback. I'll show you a turtleback. That was a buffalo jump. Turtlebacks are more like this. You know, a big, huge lump. You know what I mean? Big lumps. Those are turtlebacks. Well, this isn't the classic turtleback because it's not in the middle, but like that. See that big lump right in the middle? That's more like a turtleback. You have to be aggressive with it. And then, see, but that lump, that's a turtleback. You have to whittle those down little by little, or big old strikes. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to thin it down some more. That took off some of the end, though. Okay. Did you get it? That was a turtleback. Where did my thing go? This doesn't have any turtlebacks on it. It just had that big old stack or step fracture. A stack is a series of step fractures. In most cases, that's the way people define the stack. It's a bunch of step fractures in the same spot. It is hornstone, yeah. It's a buffalo jump. Yes, it is. Let's see. Sup, Wes? Where do you get those copper rods from? Need a few to complete a set. You know where to get it from. I think you've asked that question before, but you can see a lot of times in my comment section where to get them, but they're from eBay. 3/8 inch copper rod. Just type in 3/8 inch copper rod on eBay, and something will pop up. I get mine in 12-inch because it already comes in 12-inch sections, I think, from the guy that I buy them from. But he also sells different diameters, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 5/16, anything you want. But I usually use the 3/8 and the 5/16 diameters. Okay. Now this one I use a lot, or I have used a lot because I've been knapping small points more than larger points, so it's worn down more. I use this on the smaller points. Sometimes I'll use it on the large point, like when I'm doing obsidian, because I don't need a whole lot of material on the end of the flaker to knock off a big flake. Like I am right now, I'm working some lower quality hornstone. We haven't had an update on the soup saga. Anything new and interesting that you have tried lately? Oh yeah. Oh gosh. What did I do on the soup? The last thing, there's no interesting thing on the soup saga. I was going to mention something. Someone told me one time, oh, cooking deer meat. We had a little talk about cooking deer meat, I think, on the last live stream. And someone told me, marinate the deer meat in Italian salad dressing. I have not tried it yet. That's the only thing on the cooking front that I'm going to try. I'll try it on beef first. I'm going to marinate the beef in Italian salad dressing. How do you cook it after you marinate it? Any way you want. I have a gas grill outside that I can grill it. But nothing on the soups lately. 52.6. Okay. I got to make sure I remember 52.6 degrees is the angle at which you use. And people are going to take me seriously and get the protractors out. That'll be so funny. You want more English? I don't know what that means. Oh, do I want more English? Yes. David Etheridge. It's all right. I'm trying to make sure I don't make the same mistake over again. That hornstone that just ruined his obsidian arm for weeks. Yeah, it messes with my mind too. Oh, that helped a lot. So now I can nap like nothing forever. Yes. Wow, you just scalped it live. Yeah, I did. And it was very satisfying. And I might save it as a trophy. Yeah. Where is it? Might save the turtle back as a trophy. Let's see. Okay, hold on while I'm trying to navigate the chat. YouTube does not let me navigate it easily. Do you want some more of my lovely rock from Norfolk? Yes. David, yes. Ed says, I found a nice blade in Oklahoma that had many steps all around it on one side of the point that left a huge pile on the other side. I think it was intentional. You never know. Sometimes they might leave a bunch on the other side just so it won't break. It's nice to see you the right way around. Yeah. Let's see. eBay. Cool. I'll look it up. I've been hibernapping for the winter. That's the way to do it. I have several 3/8 square copper rods about 8 inches I used in the past for tools. Square copper rods? Square bar or whatever that's called. Where do you get your grinding stones? This one I got off a website. And this one is a grinding wheel from Lowe's. This is a grinding wheel from Harbor Freight. So the Harbor Freight ones are white, the last time I checked. It's just a 6-inch grinding wheel, and you break it into quarters. This is what's left from a very coarse-grained grinding wheel that I got from my friend Don Tower. He works you can see the hole that was in the middle there, but there was a huge, gigantic chunk of a very large industrial grade grinding wheel. So I use mainly grinding wheels because they're cheap, but I've also Sal might have sent me this, or somebody, maybe Mike Tuff sent me this. Somebody sent me this. I thought I had bought it. This particular one I didn't buy, I don't think. Either Sal or Mike sent me this one. And you can buy these at Knapping Traditions with an S.com and similar websites. After that, only cook the deer near to medium rare. Yes. After marinating, you don't cook the deer all the way through. Junkyards have some great stuff if they take copper and aluminum. Yeah. I feel like the Italian dressing would slightly cook the meat like ceviche. It might. But I think seafood's a little bit different than red meat. If I'm not mistaken, I think the red meat is a little bit different than the seafood in the way it reacts with the vinegar. But I think what cooks the seafood is not the vinegar, but if you add lemon juice, something in the lemon juice, the citric acid, right, might be the one that cooks it. You can add lemon juice to meat too. I got a 1.5-inch copper grounding rod from Home Depot. 8-foot piece was pretty cheap. Yeah, I don't think they're solid copper though. I think they might have a steel core, if I'm not mistaken. Because I've used those. I mean, I've actually driven those copper rods into the ground, and I think that they might have a steel core or something, because they don't bend. I really hammered that sucker a lot, and if it was just solid copper, it would have bent over or it would have deformed, but it didn't deform or anything. So it's got to be either a different alloy of copper or maybe a steel core. I marinated a lot of meat in zesty Italian, especially deer or pork steak. Cook in the oven about 350 degrees. Yeah, baking it is also good. It was found in Ryan area between Beaver Creek and... All right, you guys are telling each other where you find the rocks. Sal sent it to me. Yes. All those are plated rods. Yeah. The grounding rod that you drive in the ground, those big 1/2-inch, I suspected it has a steel core, right? I think. Yeah. Yeah. So we're starting to get agreement on that. You can still use it even if it has a steel core. I'm not saying you can't use it. I'm just saying it's not solid copper. All this food talk and no one has mentioned the best way to cook a mammoth. You got to wonder if any of those paleo animals were particularly tasty. Well, I think a mammoth would taste a lot like an elephant, right? And people have eaten elephant meat. Just ask them how it tastes. Yeah, but elephants are endangered and stuff, man. You can't eat them. Well, they must have accounts of how it tastes in the past, right? People wrote about how it tastes 200 years ago. I would imagine it's very similar. I would imagine. Can you name any good places for people to buy some obsidian from? Yes. Off the top of my head, buy good obsidian from. Not off the top of my head, other than Luke Hammock, and there's one other source that I use, but it's in my rock seller list. Jenny Collins might have obsidian, and there's a couple other guys that have obsidian as part of their website. You've never seen my rock seller list? You gotta look in the comment sections on some of my videos. It's in there somewhere. I don't put it on every one of my videos because no one ever puts a like on it. If you want more information on this kind of stuff, you got to put a like on the stuff I include in the comment section. There's a lot of good people, a lot of good sources for obsidian. There's at least a dozen, and you can find maybe 3 or 4 of them on Facebook just by typing in obsidian flint knapping. It's so easy. The hard part is copying down the information correctly so I can post it. But for you to find it on Facebook is super easy. Fred Flintstone ate pretty well. Yes, he did. They taste better when we discover salt. Yeah. People live near the ocean. You can just use seawater for cooking. That was used quite a bit. You didn't know? Now you know. Kosher salt, Cheyenne, white people, garlic, and goes. Well, now we get a recipe. Antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. No, turmeric. If you're like me, I get a bad reaction to turmeric, so you got to be careful with these spices. And same with garlic. I get upset stomach with garlic, and it makes me feel weird. Honey definitely is a sugar, which means I can't have it. So Mike Mason, you're giving out a good recipe because this is really yummy. But if I eat this, I get sick or feel sick, and I get brain fog and stuff. Let's see. Oh, and let the seasoning sit on it for 2 to 48 hours. Yeah. It sounds very yummy, but I can't eat that stuff. I prefer smoked paprika to cayenne pepper. Yeah, smoked paprika is pretty good. Pellet is mostly a color to me. It's going to smoke the meat anyway. I'll try Facebook. I never thought of that. Yeah, just try Facebook. Just type in obsidian flint knapping or something. Had to have the word flint knapping and obsidian in the search together. And then you can join groups. There's groups on Facebook that are called Flint Knapping Supplies, Flint Knappers Corner, or something like that. They're all marketplaces for rocks and obsidian. The guy in the back, I want to see flint knapping. I'm tuning in for flint knapping, and I don't see it. Just do it. Stop blabbering. Okay. Are you seeing it? Does it help? No? Yes? I don't know. I have no way of knowing if it helps if you don't tell me. I know it doesn't help me that much because I'm distracted by the live stream. I can focus on the napping and skip the chat. You get a much better view from my videos that have the first person view. And I'm also trying to keep this in your view, so I'm changing the angle a little bit. So just remember, nothing is exact in flint knapping. It's not like carpentry or woodworking or wood carving. It's a sport, which means there's a chance you might not be able to do it because you're new. A new guy can cut a straight side on a board if they're taught how to do woodworking and how to square up all the sides just by copying someone exactly. But to square up all the sides, so to speak, on a flint knapping or a flint knapped workpiece is not something that you can copy exactly because there's a game of chance and everyone's a little bit different. It's a sport. It's not like a handicraft unless you are using something called flake over grind. Then it becomes more like a handicraft and not a sport. They minimize the risk with a flake over grind or fog knapping. You're making all the initial conditions very predictable. You're doing the same kinds of flaking over and over and over. It's not easy, but there's less chance. There's less variability. And a lot of guys gravitate to flake over grind after they get frustrated with random flaking. It's perfectly fine. But a lot of people want regular, exact, how should I say, not regular, but they want to know precisely what angle it is all the time for flakes of a certain type. What is the flake angle for long flakes? What is the flake angle for short flakes? What is the flake angle for flakes that go into the piece lengthwise? What's the flake angle for flakes that go across the piece? They think there's a different angle for those specifically that work every time for each specific kinds of flake. And there is no such thing. Let's see. Speaking of rocks, did you see what Danny Collins went and got some root beer? Yeah, I see that, but I didn't see where, but it was in Texas. I don't recognize the area other than it's got mesquite trees like 99% of the rest of the areas there in Texas. I'm assuming that you asked me that if I recognize that area. I don't know, maybe I misinterpreted that question. Or it could be interpreted that you asked me that so I could tell you where it was. Cajun seasoned onion powder, garlic powder, lemon pepper. Yeah. What is ass butter? I saw Danny picking up rocks. Yeah. Yeah, on the video. Danny's got a new root beer that's whitish. Yes, Ed, I've never seen any root beer look so nice like that. Yeah, there are various places where you can get a nice root beer chert in Texas, not just where he found his. How do I know? Because I've been to more than one spot that has nice root beer like that. A lot of Indians would use sandstone to abrade and just have it near and reach over and saw with the blade to abrade. Yeah, you can use sandstone. Sandstone, it depends on the tool stone though. Some doesn't react very good with sandstone. You got to use a coarser or finer abrader. It all depends. And the sandstone that I could get was very crumbly, so you would be trying to abrade, and part of it would flake off or break off, and then you go, I can't. Now your piece is real short, so you try to abrade with that instead of a large, solid, non-breakable abrader, like a different kind of stone, not a sandstone, but something that's I don't know the names of these stones. You just pick them up from the lake bed or the creek bed, and you start abrading, and you see that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And then you get one. Oh, this works pretty good. What's it called? I don't know. It just works good. Those are the kinds of stones you need. What kind of stone is it? I don't know. It just works good. That's the stone you need. The stone that just works good. Heck, what this called? Yeah. I tried to remember all that, and I did for a while. I was remembering silicified sandstone and different kinds of sandstone, and I told some guys, and they could never find the right stuff just by the name of it. They would catch me at the next nap and they'd ask me, is this the good stuff that you've been abrading with? And I abrade with it, and I go, no, it's not the same stuff. It looks the same. I'll show them my abrading stone and their abrading stone, and the exact same color, exact same consistency it looks like, but you abrade with one and you abrade with the other, and you go, well, yours, that's not as good as mine. You've got to test it. You can't just say, well, sandstone works good, because no offense, but you've got to test it out. Okay. See, this is messing me up. I'm going to get back to the obsidian, and I'm going to be trying a flake like that one I just did, and it's going to run down the blade and take the tip off if I'm doing that on obsidian. Yeah. But it's not bad. This stuff is not all that hard to nap. It's just, it's got inconsistent areas in it, which worries me as it starts to get thinner. That's when it gets down to the nitty gritty in the sweat stage, when it starts to get thin, because then every little imperfection can cause a problem. And it's that subtle. Just a little bit of difference can cause you a lot of misery with a step fracture or a break or a bite from the edge. You're probably not getting the full benefit of seeing the angle. Remember, 52.6. And sometimes it'll change right before I strike. I noticed that too. Sometimes it goes up or down. Sometimes it changes right before the strike. Why does it do that? I don't know. See, that's what you don't want. An undetached flake that didn't go all the way. I didn't hit hard enough. So I had to try to take it off from the other side. It didn't quite get it, I don't think. No. But I could try to pick that out. You see what I did? It did pick it out. But when I hit really, really hard, you see what happens to the edge? See the little... Man, the camera corrects itself, but I can't use it to show you. I can't point to it. There, see, it takes that out when you hit it really, really hard. See, I hit that really, really hard so I could drive a flake that way. But it takes a little bite out of the edge. That's the sacrifice. You got to be willing to live with that. It doesn't always happen, but that's part of the game that you're playing with the stone. Let's see. A lot of Indians would use sandstone to, hence tally marks. I think Danny let it slip. He was over the border. I don't know. Maybe. Is that Texas rock you're working on? No, this is hornstone from either Kentucky or Tennessee. I believe. Let's see. Well, Caleb lives in Tennessee, but I'm not sure that's where he gets this from. Anyway, it's a low-grade hornstone as far as the inconsistencies. Where it's nice in one color, it's good to nap. Otherwise, it could snap at any time or create a situation where you can't nap through it because of the concrete in there or some kind of inconsistency. I don't think I've asked you if you have a particular interest in black powder firearms at all. I'm a sucker for older firearms, but have nothing with black powder. My favorite is 1874. Now, I've looked into black powder, but I've never gotten into it. I've just done some research into it. I never had an interest in getting into black powder. I did some research into it because someone asked me at one time to make some gun flints, and I had to figure out what size I needed to focus on and what was done in the past. He wanted some reproductions of gun flints. I'm picking up a 25 Smith & Wesson pistol today. Awesome. Yeah, I like firearms, and I prefer to hunt with firearms, but I don't know all that much about them. Especially not black powder. I don't know anything about that stuff. I just know a little bit about the gun flints. That's it. So I'm repairing the base now because I had to take that bite out of the edge. All right, I'm going to start thinning this down. I'm thinning this down in a way that could break it. See, I hit that side. Could you see how hard I hit that? I have no idea if you can see. So I'm in the process of thinning it now. Wherever there's a lump, I'm going to take a big old flake. And wherever I need to repair something, like I see a crack or whatever, I'll do that now. Before I take the next big flake. So I just made the tip more consistent and straighter and thinner before I move on to the middle again. You can't have the ends be thicker than the middle without risking a lot. You're risking breaking the whole thing in half if the ends are thicker than the middle. I just did some really good thinning flakes in the middle. They were a little bit too good compared to the tip. So now I got to work on the tip. I got one more big flake. Well, that didn't travel as far as I thought it was going to. But that was in the area that I want to thin down. Yeah. I'm trying to drive a flake through some concrete right there. Hey, Jim Cooper, it's going good. Have you ever dabbled in producing your own pemmican at all? I know it was a very common survival. Well, I've made pemmican. It's super simple. Uh, there's a lot of lore on the internet, quote unquote lore, which means false information on pemmican. All pemmican is dried meat that's ground to a powder or something that's not, some of it is powder, some of it is almost powder. Pemmican is not mixed with anything until you eat it. Most pemmican, now this may be different in colder climates, but most pemmican is just dried meat because if it has any other ingredients with it, it will get rotten. It will spoil. It will turn rancid. You put any kind of ingredient in there other than the dried meat, it will go bad. Unless you live up north where it doesn't get very cold, very warm. Then you can add your fat, you can add the berries and all that, and it stays cold or 40 degrees and under 24/7. If you live in a climate that's 40 degrees and below 365 days a year, you can add stuff to your pemmican and don't have to worry too much about it getting spoiled. But if you live in temperatures that are above 40 degrees at any time of year, the meat has to stay perfectly dry and pure. Okay? And yes, all I got to do is dry meat and stick it in a blender. Pemmican. And then when you're ready to eat it, that's when you mix it with the bear fat or the deer fat or berries or whatever else you want to mix with it, or put it in a soup. You can boil water with rocks. Get that cleaned out because you're going to have ashes and charcoal and leaves and twigs and stuff in there because the rocks are going to have bits of whatever on them. You can wash the rocks, of course, but when you put them in the fire to warm them up and you put them in the water and back and forth, you're going to get junk in the water. So you strain the water out, whichever method you want to use, and then you add the pemmican to the water to make your soup. Pemmican is raw meat. I forgot to mention that. It's raw dried meat, not cooked. You can cook it after. Did I ruffle enough feathers and step on enough toes with that one? Those tiny, tiny thin flakes, do you ever make points out of those? I make points out of flakes sometimes that are, small, relatively small, like this. But they've got to be at least an inch long because they're going to lose maybe 75% of the material when I make an arrowhead. They have to be at least an inch long. Now, you can make arrowheads out of these little ones that are very tiny. Let's see. To answer your question, yes, I do. I make this one is an inch and it is inch and a quarter. That's about the smallest I would use. Okay. Although the Native Americans used some, have used smaller pieces than that. And if you look at my channel, you can do Jack Grafty small arrowhead or small point. I have one made of yellow flint or something like that. Just do a search on my channel. You might find the little bitty arrowheads that I've made. Hardtack and pemmican are awesome. Jay Valente, how's it going, Jay? Enjoying your live stream. Thank you. We've got about 20 minutes left. Hello, Native American and colonial history. Let's see. Someone's asking, did you see? I see you were hunting last season. Did y'all kill a deer with stone? If you're asking me, I did not kill a deer with stone last year. I killed a deer with a modern crossbow bolt. I did shoot my bow, but I shot high. Well, I did shoot at a deer last year with the bow and arrow, but I shot high, and I said, I can't shoot while I'm in a blind. I was in a blind, and I shot through the window, but for some reason, shooting through a window messes with my depth perception, and I shot too high. I've got to stick my head completely out the window in order for me to see in proper depth. Somehow it messes up my depth perception. But with the crossbow, it doesn't matter. It's a flat trajectory. So I could misjudge it by 10 yards and it wouldn't matter. And I probably did misjudge it, but it still hit perfect. The pemmican description seems spot on to me. I make my own. Good. Yeah, it's just dried raw meat and then ground up into a powder or almost a powder-like state. That way it stays dry. You know, you toss it around and you know, it's something that it needs to be maintained. It's much easier when it's in a powdered state. If you have just jerky, sometimes the interior retains moisture and it'll rot on the inside. What style of point are you going for? Leaf-shaped blade? No, nothing in particular. I can do something that if you want, but leaf-shaped blade is my favorite. How about a video series on a polished celt out of a jade or high-grade basalt? Then you'll be covered on video for a few weeks at least. I don't know. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. Okay, good. I'm glad you're just kidding because I'm not into the peck and grind. Yeah. My uncle used a crossbow with glass arrowheads. He just epoxied them on. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I cheated. I used my friend's crossbow. It was cool. I appreciated it very much because hunting in that blind was something I don't normally do. I like to stalk. Yeah. And I've only shot small game. I've shot a deer before while stalking, and they're too smart. They dodge the arrow. In a blind, they can be 15 feet away easily, and that's what they were. They were less than, well, I should say 15 yards away. Less than 15 yards away. All right, I think that's the last flick I'm going to do across the middle. Anything more, and I think I might break it. Yeah. So at this point, I would just sharpen it up, except for a few fat spots that require only a small flake. Yeah, this is going to mess up my obsidian game. A little bit, not too bad. Yeah. All right, so now it's just a matter of sharpening. We've got 18 minutes left. All right. Plenty of time. Okay. Still got to abrade it. Do you have a P.O. box? I'd like to send you an arrow I made. I find it brings me good luck and you get something cool. Yeah, just send me an email to jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Jackcrafty, one word, the number 2 @gmail.com. and I'll send you my address. I don't give out my address on anything like this. I already get a lot of spam. Yeah. You can find my email on my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure. People have found my email address in weird places, like on flintnappers.com, flintnappers with an S.com. I once had an account with them, but my email's still there somehow. And my name is still on that site. I think, unless he hacked the site. And got into the email addresses. Yeah, some people have found me and mailed me stuff, and I never gave them my address or anything. That's rare, though. It only happened, I think, once or twice. We got a package. Wait. Oh, it's a mailman with regular mail. I remember now that he said he's going to come back and give me the regular mail. He had lots of packages today, so he said he was going to come back. Yeah. Let's see. I haven't been able to shoot a deer with a bow yet. Same thing, just small game so far with stone. Yeah. Small game is so much more fun too, I think, because you can just walk around and shoot a squirrel or shoot a rabbit. It usually doesn't work though, but I'd rather be walking around. Once in a while, I get lucky and I'll hit one, but usually I don't. As far as hunting goes, I don't know. I have more luck shooting fish than I do shooting little animals. Stalking is fun if the pen isn't too large. Hee hee. Stone Hook has a video or two on making a notch in a screw-on blunt tip to half the stone point on a modern arrow. Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Even though I didn't read that right, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's something that I've seen other people do as well. Super cool. That's shots. You're like a stone butcher. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pressure flake. I'll make that available in the auction. How's that? All right. So I got just my custom. I make my own pads. Wood on the bottom, leather on the top. Veg tanned leather. VEG. Veg tanned leather. 12 ounce veg tanned on poplar wood. POPLAR. Poplar that you find at Home Depot. The leather you get off of eBay, or I got it off of eBay. I don't sell these because it takes me forever to make them. Yeah. Although I probably should. I should start making them and selling them. All right. What do I do when I pressure flake? I tend to have both my arms supported. I don't know why. I think I know why. Yeah, I used to. Sometimes you can do it like this, but I've never had much luck with that. This is going to require that I use leg force. Okay. So I'm using leg force with this, whatever you call it. Yeah. It's not really working all that well. Because I'm in my obsidian mode. But anyway, I just took down this edge a little bit. See how this is wonky down here? This one is straighter. This is what I just did right now. So that's all it is pressure flaking to get it straight. Let's see what I could do with some notches. I'm going to use a sharper tipped steel 16 penny nail flaker. I'm going to flatten out the bottom. I can flatten it out with the abrader. What's the angle at which I hit it? 52.6. Oh, I need to thin it down a little bit more. Why did I wear a gray shirt today? I'm going to thin down the base a little bit more before I continue. I haven't used the files yet. You can use these diamond files from Harbor Freight. $7 a pack or something like that. Something ridiculously cheap like that. They'll last a couple months. Smaller diameter, 5/16. Some flakes from the base. Hopefully I won't snap the whole thing in half. See that? What's the angle on this, everybody? 52.6. It's all the same, right? No? It's not all the same. Not the same force of strike either. Applied force is different too. Really? Yeah. The applied force is different. The angles are different. It's a subtle thing. It's very subtle. I had to hit that how many times? 6 times before that flake finally came off. And I tried little variations in the angle. 52.6, 52.3, 51.9, 50.62. I think I'm funny, but I'm not. I know. Oh, that one hit I just flicked a little flake and it hit my cup. My soup cup. That flake's probably in my soup cup. And what I'm doing is picking off step fractures from the surface. But I thinned that down enough, I think. What am I thinning it for? So I don't have to do it later. Yeah, we got 8 minutes, guys. Let's see. Smallzilla. Here's a question for you, Patrick. Do you think that we as humans have discovered all of the knappable types of stone on this planet? Or could there be types not yet known? Well, it depends on how it depends on how particular you want to get with the types. Broadly speaking, we've already discovered everything. Narrowly speaking, we probably haven't. We probably haven't. No. But it depends on how particular you want to be with that definition, knappable, and with the definition of the type of stone. Yeah. But broadly speaking, we've already discovered it all as far as knappability. I like that one big blue stone butcher. Have you ever tanned leather with tree bark? I'm in the middle of the process right now. Um, no, I haven't. I haven't tanned leather with tree bark, although I've seen it done on YouTube. And there's a bunch of good information on bark tanning on YouTube. See, that is a skill that you can learn that has very little uh, chance involved in it. You just copy exactly what the instructor does, and you'll get the exact same result. Unless your leather is really weird or there's not much tannin in your acorns. Maybe your acorns are tannin deficient. Who knows? But other than that, it's not a sport like flint knapping. Tanning hides, you can follow the directions exactly like a recipe to cook something. Yeah. I'm going to do a corner notched point, which is the easiest point to do, basically. I'll try to do it quickly. And not narrow entry. If you don't do narrow entry, then it's really easy, relatively speaking. Sometimes I have to add leg pressure. That's what I was trying to figure out what it's called. It's called leg pressure. Right? Or no? Just, you can clamp your legs together at the same time. Sometimes you can tell that I'm doing that on video. I don't know if it's always visible. So I started that side. I'll finish it off camera because it's almost time to end the live stream. But I'll try to get the basics done right now. I remember I got a shoulder impingement not long ago, maybe a couple years ago now, doing a lot of pressure flaking. So I had to make sure I do exercises in the opposite direction when I work out. You know, pressure flaking, tough chert. So this crunchy edge, it got really crunchy. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to. It's a difference in consistency of the material. See, so the edge got really nasty. After doing that, because I had to knock off the weak areas, and unfortunately, it's very weak. I don't know who that was. All right. Let's see. 87 degrees in Florida. Yep, I've seen that comment already, or have I? Uh-oh, chat's getting away from me. Master Flaker, thank you. Dang, a little late today. Awesome to see this view for once. All right, Jordan. Hope it helps. Super cold in South Dakota today. Yeah, I believe it. Somebody else was saying that too, like 3 degrees or -3 or something. Here in North Colorado, here too. It's 87 degrees here in Florida, 8 degrees here, about the same here, 87. Jordan, not fair, is it? No. I used to use walnut hulls in when I lived in Virginia for tanning, I guess, hides. I'm using the bark from the bowwood I use. Okay, as long as it has lots of tannins in it. Flint napping equals sport, hide tanning equals cooking. No. Well, maybe. I have no idea what tree it is. I just know it works for bows. There you go. We'll see if it works for tanning. No way, Pat. The people now know. The people know you. Here is the melting point. That sounds funny. I'm not quite sure what that means, though. A rare material out here in Washington is called Hanford glass because back in the day they were experimenting with nuclear waste disposal. So they tried to make glass to bury it. That's interesting. I think the live stream is over. Thanks, Patrick. Goodbye from UK, David. Okay, you wrote David Eldridge. Is it Etheridge or Eldridge? Now you got me confused. Goodbye, fellas. See you next live stream. Yeah, so I've got this. This is what I got so far. Okay, I'll finish it up either on a video or off camera. I'll put it in the auction. It's just one of those lower grade hornstones that wasn't too bad, but I don't dare go any thinner than that. The ratio is it's 42 millimeter by 7 to 1. 7 to 1 width to thickness ratio. Okay. See you Friday. Next live stream is 8 to 10 p.m. on Friday. Okay? 8 to 10 p.m. Friday, Eastern time. All right. Thanks for showing up, guys. This was pretty good. Although I need to get a little bit better at navigating the comment section and napping. It was still okay. I enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.